Multiplying the decimals is going to be just like you would do it normal multiplying, except for the decimals have to be handled a little bit differently. You don't line them up when you put the example together. Also, even before you start, take a look at the two numbers and see which one is going to be a simpler multiplier. Okay? Look for the repeated numbers, smaller values, maybe a 0 in there. Makes your life a little bit easier. So I'm going to put the 8.81 on the bottom half of the multiplication. And as I said, please, you'll do better if you don't line up the decimals, because there's this tendency to think, oh, I'm going to line them up all the way to the bottom, which isn't the case. Multiplying by 1 is very nice and easy. You're just going to do 1, 1, 1, so you're going to get 3, 2, 9, exactly the same number. When you get to the next column, however, we're multiplying by 10 times the amount, so we have to put a placeholder in here, a 0 or an X or a blank or something like that, to tell us that we're actually going to start writing our answers in the next column. 8 times 9 is 72, carry to 7. 8 times 2 is 16, plus 7 is equal to 23, carry the 2. 8 times 3, 24, plus 2 is 26. Now, double check that you've got this right, because we can use that same result on the next line. 72, carry 7, 16, 23, 2, 24, 26. So the next line, this time you have to add 2 zeros there, and then you're going to put the 2, 6, 3, 2, 1, bump it over 1 space. And we're going to add up these three amounts as we go down. 9, 4, 8, 9, 8, and 2. Big ugly number. And now we have to take a look at the number of decimal places in the original question. 1, 2, 3 decimal places in the original question. So there's going to be 3 decimal places in my answer. 289.849. Division. Well, okay, division's already tough enough. Now we've got decimals in there, but the first job is to remove the decimal from the divisor. Now remember, this is the dividend, that's the divisor. So when you put it together, dividend goes at the end, so you're going to go 0.12 into 874.8. As I said, you don't want to have the decimal in your divisor, so you're going to slide it 2 places to the right. That's the equivalent of multiplying by 100. And you're going to do the same thing in the dividend. You're going to have to fill the spot in with a 0, that digit, and you slide the decimal over and you put the resulting decimal up on top in the quotient. So now you can ignore the decimal. I'm going 12 into this 5-digit number. 12 doesn't go into 8. Let's put a 0. Line things up. Neatness counts. 12 into 87. Well, hopefully you know your times tables, and you know that 7 times 12 is 84. Subtract. 3. Bring down the next number. Just make sure before you bring it down that 12 doesn't go into 3. Bring down the next number. 12 goes into 34. How many times? Twice. 2 times 12 is 24. Subtract here, and that's going to give you 10. And then you bring the 8 down. Okay, line these things up nicely so you know what you're doing. Bring the 8 down. 12 into 108. Well, maybe you don't remember your times tables. But I'm going to take a guess here and say that it's 8. By the way, I'm going to intentionally make a mistake. 8 times 2 is 16. Put it here. Carry the 1. 8 plus 1 is 96. Now, I'm going along here and I subtract 2, 1, and you'll realize, wait a second, 12 goes into 12 still. That means the number I chose here is too small. A couple of options. You could just remultiply, or use your knowledge to say, well, if 8 12s is 96, then 9 12s is going to be 12 more. What's 12 more than 96? 108. Well, this is good because now this means that our remainder at the bottom is going to be 0. In most of the questions where it works out evenly, you don't have to worry about it. But watch out. There's one more detail here you have to pay attention to. I have 729, but there's a blank here. You're not allowed to leave it blank. You have to fill it with a placeholder. In this case, you fill it with 0. So your answer is 7,290. And remember, you can always check your answer by multiplying your quotient by the divisor and see that you get the dividend.